Hello, San Angelo. I'm James Bellini,
And I'm Tessa Koskovich.
and we are the Live Daily News team. Tessa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, James. How are you?
Doing good. We had a couple big news stories today. First up, an SAISD teacher was arrested for having an inappropriate relationship, and there's an update on Kash's condition. Kash is the 1-year-old who fell into the pool last week, and I think it's kind of positive, but it's just kind of
He's moving in a good direction. It's just going to be a long road.
Yeah, I think so, but at least things are moving along.
Right.
Before we get into that, though, I spoke with Patrick Keely. He's running for SMD4 City Council. We'll get into that interview right after these messages from Jim Bass and Carpet Tech.
You hear that? That's alerting you that it's truck month at Jim Bass Ford. So it's time for huge savings. You can get 14 grand off MSRP on a new Ford Expedition.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. 14 grand off a new Ford Expedition. But you gotta hurry. This is a limited time offer only at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
My name is Cade Simmons. I'm the site manager here in San Angelo. What matters to our customers, I believe, is what we say is CT quality, CT experience, just making sure their needs are met, taking care of their home like it was ours. You just have to keep thinking of, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. So just making sure you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, and just knowing that they can rely on us, I think, matters to them a lot.
Welcome back, Eric. James Bellini here with Patrick Keely. He's running from SMD4 in the City Council. Mr. Keely, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's just talk about some of the things you want to bring to City Council.
Okay, great. My biggest thing I want to bring is transparency. That's what I feel like most people have asked for. That's what I've wanted myself. I didn't always know. I wasn't always in the know, right? I didn't know what was going on. A lot of things, some of their most recent agendas, you can't even find out about it until Friday. Then the meeting's Tuesday, and they're voting on it, and we just don't know much about what's going on. So my biggest deal is going to be transparency and informative. I want to bring the city council a little more into this decade in technology, right? I want to work on a newsletter and have podcast may not be the right word, but be able to get the word out to people a little easier so they know more what's about going on. They can reach out to me and tell me what the problems they're having are easier, instead of, just hearing about things after the fact or just not being able to get hold of their representative. I want to try to have a little bit more of that new age tech involved.
Right. No, I feel like every time there's a City Council meeting, Van is listening to it, and it always goes up after, after the City Council, you have an article come out about it. But what you're talking about is having kind of you can kind of see what's happening, and then you can make a decision afterwards. Kind of.
I want people, much like what SA Live has done for the news in San Angelo. Yeah, a little random plug there. I know more about what's going on in our city from SA Live than I did before. If it was just, the morning paper that a lot of people weren't even reading anymore.
I mean, now the Standard Times isn't even printed in San Angelo.
Exactly.
It's up in Lubbock, and it gets shipped down here. Even more reason to subscribe to San Angelo Live. But no, transparency is very important. That's our job up here, is to be transparent with articles and everything. And I think that speaks volumes about, what you want to do, is just being forward with everybody. Because you're right. It is kind of frustrating when things happen after the fact and it's already happened. You can't change anything.
Nothing you can do about it.
But kind of talk about yourself real quick, though, where you came from. And now that you're here.
Okay. I am a Texas born and raised, but not San Angelo born and raised. I came to San Angelo. I went to college at ASU in 2007. Graduated with my business degree there. Been here ever since. I married a girl from San Angelo, so I'm stuck here now for better or worse. So let's make it better. I'm been in the oil field for 10 years. I've been in real estate for about 6 years. I've owned a small car dealership. That was over in Brownwood, but I ran it from here. So I've done, a little bit of everything. I've done construction work. I've done census work. I worked for the census back in the 2010 census.
All right.
So I've seen a lot of different things and about growth and with real estate and the census and the oil field. I'm kind of involved a lot what is keeping our city going, So I'm around a lot of it. I read and study about a lot of it, and I just want to be able to make informed decisions and make San Angelo better for the future.
I mean, why do you want to run?
Why do I want to run?
Then I'll get to the other part.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people ask. it's one of those things. I'm also I've done a lot of referee and umpire, and I get yelled at for doing those, even if I'm doing a good job. So I said, well, why not run for city council and get yelled at and still do a good job?
Right.
That's being a little facetious, but I felt like now was a good time. I'm a little older. I wanted to run when I was younger, but a young 30-year-old, not many people were looking at that and like, well, what experience do you have? And I didn't have enough. I wanted to get a little more business experience and see how I could better help. And then jobs, as far as, that's been some of it. In the oil field, a lot of times you didn't have much free time, so it was hard to I couldn't hardly make city council meetings.
Right.
So now that I'm more focused working just in San Angelo, hopefully I can have a little more time for that and be able to better serve the city.
Is that something you're trying to do, is bring more jobs to San Angelo to help?
Oh, I'd love to, right? I mean, more jobs, more businesses, all that, just we need all that. All this money that they're wanting for the bonds and things like that, the reason we're having to do bonds and raise property taxes rates is because we don't have any more money coming in. If we had more money coming in to keep up with the cost of inflation and the cost of basically doing business as a city, we wouldn't have to raise tax rates, right? We would have enough new revenue coming in from new houses that we wouldn't have to keep raising it. So more businesses and more job opportunities would all be great. It's tough. San Angelo, we're kind of out here on our own. We're, even though we're a long ways from oceans, we're kind of our own little island out here.
Right.
With the interstate coming, that might help, right? So that's something that we have to, as a city, we've got to be ready and waiting for. Make sure we're prepared for that if it does come and does give us more growth than we're ready for. So.
And I've been in San Angelo I came here when I was 5-6 years old, and I think I've always seen 100,000, 120,000 people in San Angelo, and it just kind of stayed that way, and we haven't really grown much. Now, how would you? What would you do to bring businesses into San Angelo? What would?
That's a good question. We've got a lot to offer, but is it enough? Right? I mean, our water issue is always going to be somewhat of an issue, so we got to make sure that we have that solidified so that we can say, hey, there's no problem bringing your workers. You're going to be able to have housing. So having the housing ready for them and places to stay. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that our HBA, like those home builders are building as fast as they can. Apartments are going up everywhere, and nice ones, So we're getting the housing situated, I feel like. And the housing market, ever since interest rates have gone up, it has kind of stagnated where it is a little more of a buyer's market now. So they have a little more opportunity to find what they want. The other is going to be just having to reach out to those businesses and showing that we have great schools. We have a great college. We have great parks for the children. We have activities all the time, right? Things to go on the weekend, a good downtown scene, a good lake scene. So it's just showing what San Angelo has to offer, even though we are our own little oasis, show the good things about being our own little oasis. We've got a great airport, utilize it as much as we can. They can fly in and out of here no problem and go wherever they need, and it's a 5-minute walk through TSA instead of a 3-hour walk.
Right.
Yeah.
They still make you show up 4 hours before your flight.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
You still got to be there in time.
But, all right, so 30-second elevator pitch. Why should people vote for you?
Why you should vote for me for SMD4. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be informative. I am going to listen to my constituents and actually try to give you a voice because that's what I've wanted for myself. I've got kids growing up here. I want San Angelo to thrive, so I have nothing but the best interest of the city in my heart. So that's my elevator pitch.
All right. Well, anything else you wanted to say?
That's all I've got. Right now, you can go to Patrick Keely for City Council on Facebook and find out more about me. I'll try to keep you informed on there, and I've got other stuff going to be coming up, but that's the easiest way to find out about me, and you can shoot me a message on there if you have any questions.
All right. Mr. Keely, thank you for coming in today.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
All right. Back to you. Okay, starting off the news. The big news of the day is 24-year-old Abraham Gonzales, who was arrested this morning for an improper relationship between an educator and a student. Gonzales, a San Angelo ISD employee, is out at Lakeview, and a witness said that the complainant disclosed the relationship, and the witness thought it was inappropriate. The complainant described the relationship as being flirtatious and had allegedly touched Gonzales' private area. The affidavit did use the language complainant and not victim. Well, Gonzales was arrested this morning, and he has been released. And as far as the school resource officer goes that was involved, he's been placed on administrative leave, and that is still being investigated.
We have an update on Kash, the 1-year-old who fell into the pool. He was taken into Austin in critical condition. His father, Matt, posted an update on Facebook that said there was damage to Kash's thalamus, the part of the brain that controls consciousness. In another update, Matt said that Kash had a rough night and they had to calm him down with some fentanyl. Matt also said that this is a marathon, but physically, Kash is doing good and you can still donate to the GoFundMe.
That GoFundMe has like $46,000 or $48,000 now, so
Which is amazing.
yeah, that's really great. So keep it up, San Angelo. Mm-hmm. And we'll be right back with weather after this message from Jay Chandler.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Into weather, there are multiple hazards in effect right now. A wind advisory. The wind is killing me.
It's awful.
It's been like windy for 2 straight weeks out there.
The beautiful brown skies.
Absolutely. I love it.
Right.
But there's a wind advisory in effect right now, and there's a red flag warning in effect. Those do run out tonight. Right now it's 67 degrees outside, and the winds are blowing up to 45 miles an hour. Tonight the low drops down to about 33. And the winds are supposed to calm down tomorrow. The high will be 69 and the low will be 44. Things do start to heat back up on Friday. The high will be 80 and the low will be around 46.
Doesn't the wind pick back up Friday too, or?
I hope not.
I think it does.
Oh, great. We're in for more love it.
I think it's the last time it picks up for now.
Hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed, San Angelo. We'll be
Right.
out of this. And we'll be right back after this quick word from Condos, Diamonds, and Coins.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Condos, Diamonds, and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Connos, Diamonds, and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Cano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Cano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thank you for watching the Live Daily News Show.
The only locally owned news show in the Contra Valley.
Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms.
And download the San Angelo Live mobile app.
For the live team, I'm James Bellini.
And I'm Tessa Koskovich.
We'll see you tomorrow.